2 days before our game against Crystal Palace, there was an injury scare to Gabriel. I was immediately concerned. We were going to severely miss him in attack. Who is going to score our goals now? Within the first 30 minutes of our match, the question was immediately answered. Arsenal did beautifully to sort out that problem. We were not going to attack at all. Problem solved. If anybody, it looked like Crystal Palace were going to open the scoring. The first 30 minutes of this match is like the first 30 minutes of any other Premier League game this month. It is a repeat pattern at this point. Throw in people in and around Rice and Zubimendi and Arsenal will struggle to attack. And in a desperation to attack, Arsenal will make mistakes which will allow the opposition to break. And we did make mistakes. Crystal Palace did break a couple of times. There were a couple of moments of genuine concern. What's obvious to me at this point is the thing that is winning us 3 points week after week is our defense, not the attack. The attack has not started to click. This isn't a problem at the moment because I do not see us dropping any points in the next couple of weeks. But this is going to be a point of genuine concern from November 23rd to November 30th. This is a period during which we are going to face Chelsea, Tottenham and Bayern Munich. I do think at this point we should start experimenting a little bit more. Shuffle the starting lineup a little bit. Maybe try Waneri in the conventional central attacking midfielder role and maybe Eze on the left. If something doesn't work out, bring on Martinelli and Trossard. Something like that, man. I think the time to start experimenting is actually 3 weeks back. But at least now, I have a simple question. How are we going to attack? Are we just going to give the ball to Saka and hope for a miracle? Or are we going to go to a solution that we've gone to all these days? Set pieces. Look, I agree. Saka is a very reliable player. He does make a lot of things happen there. But there will be days when he's ill. Or when Crystal Palace double up on him, triple up on him. He's human after all, man. Sometimes it won't work out. And let me assure you, the set pieces will stop. Teams will figure out how to defend set pieces. If you don't believe me, look at the numbers last season. From week 1 to week 22, we had 12 goals from set pieces. From 10 corners and 2 free kicks. And from week 22 to 27, poof! Nothing. Teams figured out how to defend it. And it's not that it could happen this time also. It will happen this time. It's not to say that Arteta hasn't thought about this. But I believe he thought the solution, and maybe we all assume the solution would be Eberechi Eze. But here's the problem, man. From my observation, Eberechi Eze often finds himself more in goal-scoring positions than creating positions. Take, for example, the number of passes made into the final third. Declan Rice and Zubimendi, each of them have about 12 passes made into the final third just in the Crystal Palace game. Compare that with Eze. Eze has only 7. Okay, maybe passing is not his thing. Maybe dribbling is. Do you know how many dribbles Eze completed in the match against Crystal Palace? 1. I really believe that Eze needs to turn it on, man. But to be very honest, full credit to him for taking the goal in the manner in which he did, man. That was phenomenal technique. And here's one good reason why I am very, very optimistic about Eberechi Eze. Sure, if you look at the numbers, he has just 1 goal and 2 assists in the Premier League. But take a closer look. You will understand why I am this optimistic about him. When you look at the timing of the 1 goal and the 2 assists, not the 2 assists but 1 assist, then there is a lot of reason for optimism. The 1 assist, the 1 beautiful assist, may I say the assist that was Fabregas-esque, Odegaard-esque, came in the 93rd minute of the match against Manchester City. Right? Because he made that 1 assist, we got a draw. If he didn't make the assist, we wouldn't have even got a draw. So basically he earned us 1 point through that 1 assist that he made. And the goal that he scored against Crystal Palace is what separated a draw from a win. We took 3 points instead of 1 because he scored that goal. Just because of Eberechi Eze's contributions to us, we have scored 3 points. We are on top of the table by 4 points. If not for Eze's contributions, it would just be 1 point. So if he could just, take the handbrake off. The manner in which Arsenal try and beat the mid-block is by making direct passes from the defenders to the striker, Gyökeres. But this is why this won't work. I'm going to use 2 examples to point this out to you. The first situation happens in the 13th minute of the match. William Saliba makes a direct pass, a good pass to Gyökeres. What this should have been is a goal scoring opportunity. If his first touch meant the ball took this direction, it meant he was clear on goal. And once he's ahead, you know how hard it is to shake him off. This could have very easily been a shot on target. But this is what ends up happening. This meant that he goes this way, the defenders catch up, and nothing was made out of this situation that could well have been something. Here is another situation in the 33rd minute of the match when Timber makes a reasonably good long ball. Gyökeres uses his strength to take control. If the touch was a little better, he could have been ahead of the defenders and very easily laid it off to Trossard for a finish. But bad touch meant the defenders caught up, another decent opportunity wasted. I obviously intend for Gyökeres to succeed here, man, because his success means we sort out an age-old problem that we've had because Gabriel Jesus is being a brittle little Barbie. But this is a little worrying. Situations like these are a cause for concern because this is precisely why we bought him. I have no complaints against him in the context of hold-up play or getting to the crosses that Arsenal throw in because that's not why we bought him. He never promised those things. But in this particular context, in these two situations right here, I don't even think adaptability is an issue. See, in any league in the world, a good first touch would have meant that he's way ahead of the defenders and that would have been a decent opportunity. And these passes would have got the respect that they deserved. I honestly think it's a confidence problem, man. If we can kill a couple of smaller teams with Gyökeres getting hat-tricks in each of these matches, then that would get him up and running. There would be times when we have to grind out results and these would be the only chances that we get. That is why it's very important to have an informed, a confident Gyökeres. Tell me one thing very honestly. Do you think if it was Aubameyang or Haaland in this situation that they wouldn't have buried it? Anyway, the season is long. If Gyökeres can even hit form in February, it would be great. We face Brighton in the Carabao Cup and then Burnley in the weekend. Again, a very good time to start experimenting. I hope he does experiment with 11, man.